Yeah. What's going on? Hey, it's Mr. James Mack.
And it's the Shantastic one.
This the Status Podcast, yo. And we got a topic to talk about tonight. It's gonna get real tonight. Yeah, it's gonna get real tonight. Tonight's topic is, and let me pull this up on the screen because I got it.
Let me square up straight on this.
Yeah, you got to get straight on this one. This is real. Hold on. Is weed heads the new crackheads? And that's real talk right there. Is weed heads the new crackheads? And that's gonna hurt some feelings. We finna hurt some feelings tonight, but we want y'all to. This is tough love. You know what I mean? This is real tough love because we want y'all to know if you take this weed thing to the next level, guess what? You're gonna be homeless. You might be selling your body or something. You're gonna be without a job because they test you and you got that weed in your system. You're in trouble and you don't know what you're smoking. That's the main thing why we wanted to bring this up, because we heard some news about some new weed that's coming out. So we want to do this public service announcement before that new weed hit the scene. You know what I mean? Because that new weed ain't that nice, Mr. Flowers.
Coming where I'm from.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm from.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to go ahead like always and go ahead and get our sponsors out the way, of course. And we just want to say, get ready for this podcast. It's going to like and share it. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button right now for those on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, share, Twitter. Twitch. Look, we're trying to build this thing up. We're not gonna stop. No. We gonna keep going. And I know a lot of people probably were smoking weed over the holidays. Yeah. They were busting the blunts.
So this is gonna be a very unpopular podcast. This subject is going to be a very unpopular. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt some feelings.
It's gonna hurt some feelings.
We're gonna wake some folks up too, though. So we're gonna go ahead and run this. Yo, listen, if you want to get into the jury business, or you're thinking about starting a business, or you're in your business, it's not going the way you thought it was gonna go ahead and go to James Mack, prosperwithjamesmack.com. That's www.prosperwithjamesmack.com. We can create a class, course, everything. If you want to get into the jury business, which create millionaires and billionaires all the time, or if you just want to know and get some help and get some instruction about your own business, go to that website. But go ahead, let me run this beautiful Bing footage, like my man used to say, and we'll be back. All right, y'all, we're back. And once again, I'm going to go over this title one more time because y'all need to really understand what we got going on here and what we're going to talk about tonight. You understand? Because this is serious business right here. Check this out. Is weed heads is the new crackheads. All right, weed heads is the new crackheads. It's a lot of people out there that's selling their body for weed. We're going to get into that. Mr. Flowers, I remember I used to be a young weed head back in the day.
I can't say I was a weed head. I can literally count on my hands how many times I've smoked weed in my lifetime.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I can say, when being in the military, when I was overseas, that was one of the things that I used to partake in, not from a smoking standpoint. Siddiqui, when I was in Africa, which is what you call a native, Egyptian, right?
Okay, yeah.
Siddiqui. Siddiqui
I
was.
know that. That's what's up.
Siddiqui used to, they don't wear deodorant. And they don't do personal hygiene. So I used to literally give them some deodorant and some toothpaste.
Okay.
And he would bring me a brick.
A weed.
Oh
my goodness.
You know what I'm saying? And so that was one of the things that we used to do back when we was in, before they started testing.
Okay.
In the military, that was one of the things that would take place.
That's wild. Bring you the whole cabbage, the whole
Oh man, I mean,
elbow.
And I made sure that Siddiqui would, you know what I'm saying, that Siddiqui would only give it to me so I can, you know, distribute.
Wow. There y'all go. That's confession number one.
It was overseas. It wasn't in America. It wasn't in America.
Listen here, we want to go ahead and get the energy right in the room. We got a new thing we bring it to the podcast. You know, just something
get
like
the energy right.
Yeah, we're gonna get the vibration up. So we're gonna go ahead and hit this one time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's get the energy up. You know what I mean? Raise the vibrations. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Your body is 90% water, 10% electric. You feel what I'm saying? It may be even higher on the percentage of electric. So a lot of times you have to get the energy up because we will be one of the most popular podcasts in America within the next couple months. We on the way. So watch out. You know what I'm saying? Check us out. Watch out. Like, share, comment. We want you to comment tonight. We want you to call in. We got the phone right here. If you know somebody that is smoking that weed like it's crack, you know, or they can't go without a blunt, or they can't go without a joint, or they need an edible first thing in the morning, you know, it's one thing to use it for medicinal purposes.
Well, you know, it's legal in, you know, several states now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
right.
So and certainly in a lot of states is trying to make it legal from a perspective of medicinal purposes. Like I said, you know, as a veteran,
okay,
I can literally get a marijuana card.
You can get the card, right?
You know what I'm saying? You know, to coexist with my PTSD.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of it's still illegal.
Yeah.
In most states.
Right.
Because there's only a handful of states that has it that's legal.
Now let's take a look at that. Now, you know, of course, we have to do the history on everything and run it back. You know what I mean? For many, many years, well, since the beginning, I think, you know, from the beginning, marijuana was illegal.
Well, it wasn't illegal in the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
In the beginning,
we talk about Indians now. We talking about like the beginning.
We're even talking about, you know, Ben Franklin and, you know what I'm saying, and Benjamin Franklin and so forth. You know what I'm saying? It was legal back then.
They were smoking weed back then.
You know what I'm saying? They were smoking weed back then.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? The bong, all that stuff. That was back in the Boston Tea Party days.
Okay.
And so forth. It was legal.
You
know what I'm saying? It didn't become illegal. I can't remember the exact year. So
okay.
This is what we call a loose fact.
Yeah, loose fact. Yeah, we talk about that.
You know what I'm saying? It didn't become illegal until late early 1900s.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so you know, but even then, you know, even in the 60s and 70s and so forth, they were still smoking weed.
They were still smoking. So
the hippies, you know what I'm saying? You got the Willie Nelson,
right?
And all that kind of stuff. That's all they was doing. So matter of fact, even I think Willie Nelson is still living, right?
He's still living and still smoking.
Exactly.
But he's still rich.
Then a motherfucker.
It's a big difference. You know what I'm saying?
Snoop too. Snoop is the new Willie Nelson.
And he rich.
Then they even got a new cereal.
They got the new cereal. Shout out to Master P. You know what I'm saying? Master P getting his name back up.
Right.
They got a new, but they rich though. They can afford to wake up and smoke.
All day, every day.
You out there that don't have no education and don't have no money, you can't afford to get up and smoke weed first thing in the morning and then lay around.
But life imitates art.
Okay, talk to me.
And I've said that on several occasions.
Several.
Life imitates art. So what you have is teenagers of today, even teenagers of our day.
Yeah.
That go to sleep smoking.
Yep.
And wake up smoking. They smoke all day.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? You got people
every day.
You got people right now that's high on jobs.
Handling machinery,
handling your orders, you know, the whole 9 yards. But they high. You know what I'm saying?
You got people handling heavy machinery that's high.
That's high to the mark.
Listen, you know, it's a such thing as being too high. You know what I'm saying? And doing, because I didn't dibbled and dabbled every now and then, and it's been some points where I'm like, I'm too high right now. Like this song, I shouldn't be driving. I shouldn't be handling no heavy machinery right now.
I've never been high and driven. and
it's
never
crazy.
and never been high and operated anything.
Yeah.
The only times I've ever, again, I can remember being, a teenager, which is when I was doing most of my getting high. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I remember having being high. I've smoked enough times I can count on my fingers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, with that being said, the only time I could actually remember being extremely high,
okay,
was 10th grade.
With 10th grade.
10th grade.
10th grade.
I remember being extremely high.
Okay, what you smoke, a joint?
No, I was smoking multiple joints.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I remember my brother getting me to a point, and he's told me the story that my grandmother told when I was, getting, I was out, acting a fool, right?
Okay, yeah.
And so his whole purpose was to get me high enough to get me to stop smoking.
Okay.
And he did it.
That worked for you.
It worked. It was a done data. It was a done data.
But you got too high to where you didn't want to smoke no more.
And the story behind that is we was literally, as soon as we, puffed on one, I was puffing on another.
Yeah.
We was past, it was in rotation.
Back to back. Rotation.
It was back to, the rotation was so heavy.
You said the rotation was heavy.
Now, mind you, this was during the time, I remember the group Soul For Real?
Yeah. Candy Rain.
That album, they had track number 7.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I remember the track.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And the words to the track was maybe maybe I don't know. And so I was so high.
Okay.
That the words maybe was flashing through my head.
Oh yeah.
With exclamation marks.
Oh my goodness, you had some of that good stuff. That's different than what they smoking now, what you had.
And so I've never seen anybody throw up off being high before.
Wow.
Right? And so I literally had to run upstairs and throw up. And as I was getting up off my knees from throwing up, it's you know how in the movies the camera pans out?
Yeah.
My vision panned out.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm saying? And there was a sliding board, one of them sliding boards that goes, you know what I'm saying? And I was at the top of I was at the top of the sliding board, and I slid, and I was like almost at the middle of the sliding board, and it was a bunch of flames.
Ooh, from the lights up.
And it was maybe flashing in doggone exclamation marks. And from that day forward, I have not touched the joint.
Yeah, I'm glad for you.
I was that high.
I'm glad for you.
That high.
That's that Gorilla Glue right there. That's so.
No, that was.
I ain't even call it that back then.
I don't know what that was.
That was some of that cabbage.
But that was doing the gin and juice.
Yeah.
That was doing those days. You know what I'm saying? That was doing the chronic days, all that kind of stuff. So my brother got me so high that I was just like, you know what? I'm not ever going to touch this again.
Okay. Well, that's good for you, because some people get that high or higher, and then they want to do it again and again and again and again.
Matter of fact, I can tell you what song was popular at that time.
What's that?
I got 5 on it.
Yeah, that the loonies, the loonies.
So that was the popular song at that time, and my brother got me. I don't know what my grandma told him, but he was like, you know what, I got you. I got your number.
Wasted.
Now he got me so wasted.
Yeah.
That I said, you know what, I would never touch this ever again, and I haven't.
Man,
I have not puffed on anything since then.
Hold on once. We got to get you a round of applause for that one. A round of applause ain't working today, but we get that man a round of applause for that.
That was it for me.
Man,
and I was
never
still
touched marijuana since high school. Now that's good, because he moving and grooving in his state, and he ain't high. Now, I want to say that it's not necessarily anything wrong with occasionally or medicinally or smoking marijuana if you can handle it. Here's where the problem starts, people. Street marijuana. this new marijuana that's coming out, and the blunts. We're gonna get into the blunts.
Well, the blunt's been around since Pac and Biggie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the story has it that Biggie was the one that actually gave Pac his first blunt.
Okay, he gave Pac the first blunt, and then Pac showed everybody else how to roll the blunt.
Right.
Okay, because I heard somebody else, I forgot who it was, that said Pac showed them how to roll a blunt. And then once we seen on the big screens that they was rolling Phillies and everything,
right,
we started stuffing them Phillies.
Life imitates art.
Yeah, life in it, because we didn't know nothing about no Phillies back in the day.
Right.
And what I'm saying? And then we started busting down them cigars, rolling them cigars up, smoking them cigars, which was absolutely bad for our health. And we're going to get into why some of this is going to make people like crackheads, okay? First of all, let me get into some of the new weed names.
Hold on. Before you get into that.
Okay.
Because I remember busting down Black and Miles.
Ooh, putting the weed in it?
Busting down Black and Miles. Taking the filter out. Putting the weed into the Black and Mild, and then smoking the Black and Mild with the weed inside of it.
So let's get the proper name for that. That's called freaking the black.
Freaking the black.
You freak the black out. A lot of people don't know about that.
But you know what? It's to a point. Like, it got to a point, and I haven't smoked. I can't stand the smell of a Black and Mild.
Okay. Yeah.
And it got to a point to where at a certain point where as soon as I smelt it,
okay,
I was sick to my stomach.
Oh, okay. And that was all chemicals. That was your brain telling you that's no good for you anymore.
Sick to when I say sick to my stomach,
yeah,
I'm talking about I was running somewhere barfing
off
just the smell.
Yeah,
of the Black and Mild.
Yeah. And it ain't no telling what they do to them Black and Milds, but we used to take it a step further. And we used to have them beaties.
Oh man, I was the different flavors of the beaties. Oh my goodness,
that was crazy. Now them beaties used to have me sick, but them beaties,
no, them beaties used to have me high and them high.
The beaties,
but see, it wasn't no marijuana in them. It was just a leaf.
That was just a whole tobacco leaf,
right? You know what I'm saying? But they had different flavors to them.
Man, them beaties was.
I was in Korea. You know what I'm saying? Of course, being in the military, I was in Korea, and my homeboy, Brooks, I don't know if you're watching Damian Brooks, but Brooks from Ohio.
Yeah.
we used to go downtown, downtown Korea, pick up the beaties, and then come back to the barracks, and we used to smoke them beaties. Oh, man. Listen, man.
So beaties is from them Asian?
No. Beaties is the Jamaican.
Oh, beaties is Jamaican cigarette type deal. Okay. I always thought they was like some Asian type thing.
No, that was Jamaican.
Oh, okay. Because one of the homies, shout out to he introduced the homies to the beaties. You know what I'm saying? And we started smoking them beaties.
But we used to go to the spot, pick the beaties up, come back to the bees.
Yeah.
And then we used to, spark them up. And we used to chase. Matter of fact, I can tell you, we used to drink the 151.
Ooh, wee.
Chase them with Coronas.
Ooh.
Because there wasn't no flaming Dr. Peppers. We weren't mixing no Dr. Pepper with them. We was chasing them with the 151 straight. Chasing them with Coronas.
Oh.
And then sparking up the beaties behind them.
Oh, my God. Oh, my chest hurt already.
Oh, man.
151.
I have lived a life.
I'm sure. The 151. With the Dr. Pepper.
No. Wasn't no Dr. Pepper. We wasn't chasing them with no. We was chasing the 151 with Coronas.
Ooh, man, y'all was getting lifted.
And then we was sparking the beaties.
The beaties.
On top of that.
Y'all was getting John Legend.
In the military. Korea. 1998. 1999.
Woo-wee. Well, listen here. Let me get into some of these new weed names, because the weeds done changed. Back in the day was Killer. You know what I'm saying? You got some Killer. On the East Coast, there probably was some y'all got some wood, some branches, some leaves, some sticky.
I mean, depending on what
cabbage.
Year. I don't know. I've heard of cabbage before.
Herb.
Okay. Heard the herb before.
You know what I'm saying? On the West Coast, it was probably dope.
Okay.
Chronic.
Now the chronic was nationwide though.
But the chronic came from the West Coast.
Absolutely.
Let me see. We got the chronic. We got the, it had a number of names, but where I'm from, it was the Killer, Doja. Who got the Doja? You know what I'm saying?
That's later. That's later in the program.
That's later in the program.
That's later in the program.
Nowadays, we got Zai, Gorilla Glue. Gorilla Glue is some new type of weed they got, man. They say look like tar.
I mean, I have no idea.
Me neither. That's what I'm saying. But somebody gonna tap in or leave something in the comments and tell us about this new weed and what it do to you. OG, I heard of that. You know what I'm saying? Godfather, OG. Cookies. Now I see the cookies. That's one of the brothers. Shout out to the brother Burner. He started the dispensary, and we're gonna talk about the difference between dispensaries and the street weed. You know what I'm saying? Because the street weed is what's having people messed up. That's why we calling it the new crack. The dispensaries is regulated. They got people coming in and testing, make sure it ain't got all different type of chemicals on it. So that's a whole different situation. That headband. Got that headband for you, bro. Yeah, got that headband for you. Got that Agent Orange.
Okay.
Got that Agent Orange. Now, I wanna talk about something that's real serious, you know what I mean? And this is part, let me bring this up real quick. This is part of why I say that weed heads is new crackheads, right? Because if you get a certain type of weed, Mr. Flower, you get a certain type of weed and you smoke that weed, that actually can make you go on a trip. And it can bring out mental illnesses in certain type of people. People don't know that. You know what I'm saying? You see a lot of brothers now outside sleeping on the ground or stuck, or, you know what I mean, don't know what to do. They going in circles, or they tripping out, thinking somebody out them or something like that. It's the weed actually then, you know what I mean, made them trip. Because myself personally, I can't really smoke weed like that. I get paranoid. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I can't, again, I haven't smoked. I'm 43 years old. I haven't smoked weed since I was freaking, 16, 17. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? About what is going on nowadays.
But are you seeing the people though?
I see a whole bunch of people. You know what I'm saying? That's icking. You know what I'm saying?
Icking.
But you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I know that the opioid crisis is, you know what I'm saying, the thing now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The popping the pills and all that kind of stuff. So I figured that they was, you know what I'm saying, tripping off of the opioids.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And the fentanyl.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I had no idea that they was tripping off of the weed. You know what I'm saying? Because CBD relaxes you.
Right. Okay.
So you got the CBD that relax you, but you got the I can't think of the other the drug.
The THC.
The THC.
Okay.
The THC is what gets you high.
Right.
But I've never seen too many people trip off of weed. I've always seen them relax and of course, you don't know the different stages, the robotic stage, all that
you
kind
said
of stuff.
The robotic stage. What's the robotic stage?
I remember.
Okay.
Smoking weed or whatever the case is, and you feel like a doggone robot.
You like,
you know what I'm saying? You kind of like right. You going through it's different phases to it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? At first you get, you're stimulated, you're like relaxed, you're like, you know what I'm saying? It's like the euphorium.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then of course you go into the robotic stage where it's like everything seems like you're kind of stuck. You know what I'm saying? You kind of moving in slow motion and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then if you get too high, then you get, you know what I'm saying, you go from the robotic stage until you get to the like Am I on Earth stage?
Wow. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you go into it, it's you know, I call it the alien stage, and I think that's
the alien
I
stage.
think that's where I was when I was like, oh, you know, this is not for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you go from the relaxed stage,
right?
You know, the euphorium stage to the robotic stage, from the robotic stage to the alien stage.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's kind of like you're looking down on everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then from the alien stage into what the fuck stage?
What the?
You know what I'm saying? And so if these kids or these people nowadays are going into where they're tripping,
they tripping
on weed.
Yeah, they tripping.
Then it's like, what is really happening?
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. So, you know, and I ain't gonna get too political right now, but one thing we know is, when you dealing with the street drugs, certain people can put certain things on the drugs to be able to make a certain group of people go crazy.
Now I've seen people you know, in my past that has actually tripped out.
Okay.
You know, they've been at parties, you know, somebody slipped something in their drink.
Yep.
Or whatever the case is, and they tripped out and they're no longer normal.
They no longer normal. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I've never heard of someone of being tripped out on weed though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a real thing.
I can remember, you know what? I beg to differ.
Yeah.
I beg to differ, literally. Because I remember being in West Virginia.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was still in the military. I had just gotten out the military.
Yeah.
And I remember driving from Maryland to West Virginia, and I remember being in the strip club.
Mm-hmm.
And I was with some essays.
Okay.
Who gave me some, you know, gave me something. I don't know what the fuck they was.
Okay.
But I was kind of like Smokey.
You was
you know what I'm saying? But I remember looking at the dancers after, you know what I'm saying, after puffing on what they gave me.
Okay.
And I remember looking at the dancers like, they move like a snake. Like they move it like, what the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so forth. And so I remember doing that, you know, and this is my personal encounter.
Yeah.
I remember being in that particular club in West Virginia.
Yeah.
After these essays, they gave me whatever the fuck they gave me.
They gave you some of this right here.
You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, wow, like I was like, what is they doing? Like, she ain't even normal. She's not human.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She moving like a cobra, like a snake or something. Like,
right.
What, you know, so that was my encounter at that particular moment.
Okay. Let me touch on this, because we gotta bring some realness.
Somebody calling in.
They need to come on, call in. Hey, y'all call in, man. Let me get this off the screen, man. Y'all go ahead and touch the number down there. Call in. We need some call in, but we ain't gonna beg y'all. If y'all don't want to call in, that's on y'all.
You know what? I'm gonna beg.
Okay, then.
Because this is a conversation that's needed for someone who has actually been smoking recently.
Yeah.
You and I haven't been smoking recently.
Yeah, right.
I haven't spoken since the 90s.
Right.
And well, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know how long it's been since.
He said, and yeah, well, okay.
But I haven't spoken since the 90s.
Yeah.
So I need somebody to give me some input on what's happening nowadays.
Yeah. And I wanted to have this conversation because, you know, we're going into the future. And there's a lot of people out there that's not going to be able to get no job. This recession is mildly hitting. There's a lot of people that's not going to be able to get no job because they can't pass no drug test because they want the job. They want to move up, make them $20, $25 an hour. But guess what? They can't stop smoking weed because they're addicted, bro.
Well, I mean, you know, my thing is this. From a weed standpoint.
Yeah.
From an employment standpoint.
Yep.
They don't mix.
Right.
And so I don't care if it's legal or not in certain states.
Yeah.
You know, weed and employment don't mix.
Right.
Because of the simple fact that if you're smoking on a job and you're working heavy machinery,
right,
or you're working whatever the case is. Matter of fact, weed makes you lazy.
Facts. Well, it's different types of weed, but yes, ultimately it does. Yeah.
It makes you lazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it makes you people can kind of tell when you high too.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so if you're looking high and you're high on the job, then it's not gonna go well. It's not gonna sit well with you.
Right.
And the reasons being is because this. Me as a sober person,
okay,
I can look at you and tell that you're high.
Right.
Me as a sober person, I can look at you and tell if you're drunk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so my thing is, I'm going to look at you and say, you know what? This person might not get my order right.
Right.
This person might not, you know what I'm saying, create my stuff how I want to be created.
Right.
So I'm walking out.
Okay, yeah, you ask them to make your chicken nuggets crispy. They, you know what I'm saying? They high and they can't even get the chicken nuggets right, man. Come on,
right? Man. They gonna fry my stuff extra hard. You know what I'm saying? And I want my stuff kind of a little soft.
You said you want the steak well done, and they didn't made it medium rare.
But it's not even about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now I support my people.
Okay.
But at the same point, I want my people to be, you know, in a state of mind to where they can function.
So let me say this in all seriousness, though. This is all seriousness. What can if you was thinking strategy of war, what could you do to erase the people that's already behind? Legalize weed? Something that makes you lazy, something that's you're not gonna get no job if you can't pass no drug test, something that's gonna give you cancer, something that's gonna do all these different things. If you dealing with a race that's already behind and you trying to put them further behind, what should you do?
Now, from a weed, so let me give it to you from a weed perspective.
Come on,
because I'm sure they're gonna ask you this question.
Yeah, they're gonna be on me on this one. Come on.
So if I'm smoking weed, right? How can I, you know, and we all know that, you know, scientists are saying that weed gives you, you know, weed prevents cancer, and weed is a medicinal. You know, give you the medicinal purposes. Okay. Right?
Yeah.
So why is people so against weed?
Okay. So here go the thing. All right. So let's we know that okay, so here's the thing. All weed ain't good weed, right? So like we said before, the dispensary weed is that's a different type of weed, right? For years they've been just growing weed outside. It's been not regulated. It's been coming from all different countries coming in. People bagging it up, giving it to you is the new thing. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, you know what I'm saying, besides a couple incidents, it ain't been too crazy because, the people, obviously, they want business to keep going. So if they bring a bad batch of weed that's killing folks, nobody gonna smoke it, nobody gonna shop with them no more, right?
Right.
But however, now you have the dispensaries, right? So the street weed is changing because it needs to compete with the dispensary weed. Right here in Miami, right now, we got trucks that roll around that sell the weed out the truck.
So what happens if I'm at this point now, because people are vaping?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So I no longer sell you the CBD from a vaping standpoint.
Yeah.
I sell you straight THC.
Yeah.
From a vaping standpoint,
which it's been scientifically proven that the higher the THC level, the more addictive it is on the human mind.
Because, and I'm saying this because I know people who sell straight THC vape pens.
And the higher the THC is, see, what people don't know is once you get over about 60%, once you get about 70% THC level in weed, it can kill you.
And they're using the CBD as rub potions and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So because we all know that the CBD is actually what relaxes you.
Right. It leaves out the psychoactive part of the marijuana.
That's the healthy part of the weed. The CBD. Right. But of course the THC is what gets you tripping.
That's what gets you tripping. So you think if you up the part up that to 30%. It's weed out here with 30%. THC.
So the street weed. So you're telling me that the street weed is actually now being upped as far as the THC is?
So let's think of it like this: you got special interests. I'm not gonna say no names. You got
special interests.
You know what I'm saying? You got special interests that want to now they have to battle against the dispensaries, the legalized weed places and all that. So if you are not legal to sell weed, but you still say you getting it from another country, I'm not saying no countries. If they shipping it into you, they saying this gonna get you on right here. People gonna come and get this weed from you because it's way different than that weed from the dispensary.
So because I am, like I told you earlier today,
Yeah.
when we first started discussing this,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree that weed is the new crackhead.
Okay.
I believe the opioids is the new crack,
okay.
But so how does the weed correlates with the opioids?
So here, let me go back to crack though, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because opioids is a little bit different. That's a little bit different. It's not as easily accessible as weed is.
I beg to differ.
Okay, that's cool.
And I tell you why.
Come on.
Because the war on drugs, is really the war on opioids. And the reason being is because every country that we've gone to, whether it be Vietnam, whether it be Afghanistan, and so forth, the poppy fields is what we were, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And this is kind of like a nugget, and I hate to say
get this gem out, bro.
But those particular countries was rich in poppy fields.
Okay, we talking about some Middle Eastern countries,
right?
Okay,
Vietnam, which is Asian,
all those Asian, Eastern,
and then of course, the Middle Eastern, you know what I'm saying, the Iraqs and the Afghanistan and so forth is rich in poppy,
right?
And every drug, every pill that you take nowadays, has a percentage of opium in it.
All the aspirins, all the ibuprofen
has a percentage of opium in it.
Okay. All the mind, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so now that you have an opioid epidemic, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why is there's an epidemic now when all we've done is go to war to control poppy fields?
Okay, got you.
And I know people out there say, that's a conspiracy theory. But I know people who knows people who knows people.
Nah, you connected.
Yeah.
You know connected. Yeah.
And I'm a soldier myself, by the way.
Yeah.
But being in that realm, I know that there's poppy fields in those areas.
Okay. Check this out. Let me say this. Crack destroyed the communities, the poor communities. Up until now, people start moving the crack to the side, saying the crack is whack, crack is all. It's still out there,
Houston.
But people not really on the crack no more. What can you get for the younger generation to destroy them? This is how people think. Evil people. What can you do to get them? Because now we talked about the drug user music. What are they pushing?
I remember, what was that, 2005, 2006-ish?
Yeah.
When ecstasy was first hitting the scene.
The X, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so now you still have ecstasy, but you have it in different forms.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so those are forms of opium.
Right.
Not marijuana.
But the X didn't really take hold like people thought it was gonna be, because people really had put like a bad look on it. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't a recreational drug like that. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was.
I'm saying, but it had a run. It had a season. It's still out here. Don't get me wrong. It's still out here, but it had a run and it had a season. It's not like the weed been around for the longest.
Well, and that's one of the reasons why I guess I would say I'm kind of not as far as weed is the new crack.
So let me help you a little bit more.
And the reason why I say that is because as you just stated, weed has been around before crack.
I got you. But let me help you with this one. Weed is different now, right? It's marketed and is generalized and is targeted to a different audience now. Here's the additional part of the weed, the blunts.
Well, are people still smoking blunts?
They smoking wraps. They smoking
What's
flavor wrap? A wrap is like a blunt paper, a manufactured blunt paper, because it's not even tobacco like we used to actually take cigars and strip them bad boys down and get the guts out. You know what I'm saying? And roll them bad boys up.
Right.
Well, they got backwoods too that they smoking.
Okay, so
but
backwoods.
the wraps, you know what I'm saying? The wraps is manufactured. You know what I'm saying? They have, listen, and they don't have, you ain't got to dump out none of the tobacco or none of that. You just put your stuff in there, roll it up, and get to go.
So they come already pre-gutted,
but they manufacture, right? But here's the thing, they already did studies on the wraps. You dig what I'm saying? Because I want you to think about something. How can the tobacco companies continue to make billions and billions of dollars when nobody's smoking cigarettes no more?
Well, I can't say nobody's smoking cigarettes no more, because
I ain't say no, like not like no more, but like who's really like with a pack of cigarettes like this? That's 25.
I'm sure the weed smokers.
Weed smokers not even smoking cigarettes, bro. Cigarettes
because the cigarette, and once your high start coming in, and this is from my remembrance of smoking weed.
Yeah.
But I remember smoking the Newports.
Okay.
To bring your high back.
So what you think the blunts do?
You know what I'm saying?
What happens?
This is what we were smoking blunts back then. Yeah.
So what happens when your high go down and you got another blunt? You got to blaze that up. The addiction is really besides the new weed they bringing out. The addiction is in the blunts.
Okay.
The addiction is in the manufacturers. I'm not gonna say no names, who make these blunts and ship them out to these communities, because you don't see no blunts in those suburban communities, bro. They don't got no gas stations where the whole wall filled up with all these different flavors.
So they ain't feel it. What is it, the Philly? Well, I'm sure it's not the Phillies no more.
Yeah.
But the backwoods. They're not selling backwoods.
They selling the backwoods. They chopping the backwoods down, and the backwoods say on them will cause cancer. That's what the backwoods say on it.
Okay.
Let me share, and you may know this too. When you go to different countries like Dubai, especially the Middle Eastern countries, and Mexico too, when you go to these countries, they have stickers over all the tobacco products that say will give you cancer. Big black and white.
Yeah.
Cancer will give you cancer.
They don't do that here in America.
They don't do that here in America.
Right.
It's little on the pack. But when you go over there, you get a pack of cigarettes. Over the whole side of the pack is will cause cancer.
Yeah, I've never purchased any when I was overseas.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is I've seen the labels.
Yeah.
So there is a more marketable precaution.
Yeah.
Overseas than it is here.
Yeah.
But of course, everything is, all the tobacco stuff is made here in America. And you got billions, if not trillions of dollars.
Right.
In the tobacco industry.
Yeah. Weed is another tool used to subdue a population that's already not really reaching their full potential. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So if you're in a situation where you see these individuals becoming conscious, they putting the crack down, they're starting to get their communities back together, you got to whip up something else.
But I remember seeing, for those of you who's old enough to remember, Jesse the Body Ventura.
Okay.
Who at one point became the governor, I think, of Minnesota.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing now, but I remember him vividly.
Yeah.
Going out preaching or trying to reach the masses to make marijuana legal again.
Right.
And that was a Caucasian male.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And
right.
So because of the medicinal purposes of marijuana,
yeah,
even before the dispensaries, I know you're saying that the street drug is kind of, null and void.
Right.
But the marijuana here in America,
right,
being made or purchased or whatever the case is here in America, he was really advocating for marijuana to be made legalized.
Right. Let me hit this one time. Look at this vibration up. You know what I'm saying? Let's up this vibration because I'm gonna go there. Listen, we're dealing with biological warfare right now. You got different people that have something on their mind where they want to put nanobites inside of smokable things like marijuana, and when you smoke that marijuana, it can eat your lungs out.
Well, you got nanobites inside of the COVID vaccination.
We can't say that. Let's not go there. we ain't gonna go there.
But it's the truth, though.
No, we can't go there.
It's the truth.
We can't go there. You gonna get us shut down, Mr. Flowers. Mr. Flowers for to get us shut down. Look, so with all these different countries that's looking at us like, okay, you know what I mean? The street drugs is coming in from you don't know where. You feel what I'm saying? They being shipped in through the borders, through different places. They coming on private planes, whatever, and they're being dropped by who knows who, because we know how the crack epidemic went. They're being dropped in the poor communities where they need that. Guess what? We're getting ready to go into a season. Hopefully not. We're not getting ready to go into a season of badness, but goodness. But what you have to remember and think about and be cautious about is the cheap drugs, the cheap $10 marijuana, because the dispensary, they got the expensive stuff.
Well, you got so many different rappers and entrepreneurs and so forth who's going into the marijuana industry.
Right.
And so, yeah, there are a lot of money inside of the marijuana industries.
Yeah.
And plants and farmeries and so forth.
Yeah.
But the street drug, the nickel bags and the dime bags and so forth, and maybe because I'm not into drugs or whatever.
Yeah, you ain't into drugs, right?
How many weed men are there?
Man, it's a whole lot of weed, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. And
people still selling weed?
What? They selling it more than ever. Because there's more weed on the streets than ever.
Okay.
Because it's more legalized now. So you got more places that selling. Listen, but people sold weed for years and years and years. And
got
now
felonies and is in prison and so forth.
And everything. Ruined their life. Yeah, they didn't switch it around now. But what about all them years you went through with that possession with the intent to deliver marijuana over 100 grams on your name? And you couldn't get no job, no apartment, nothing. You know what I'm saying? And now they changed the law for somebody to come in that's 25 years old, that's 30 years old, that's of another culture, because it's only 1% of black people that own legitimate dispensaries, right? And
really,
yes, the biggest one here in Florida for the first Brown, because he's not African American, but the brother Burner is the first person that was allowed to do a dispensary down here in Miami. You understand me? In Florida.
Well, weed is not even legal in Florida.
That's what I'm saying. He did the first. It's still a medical dispensary, but he was able to do the first dispensary, right? So let's understand that, you know what I mean? But this is what we really have to stand. This is really gonna get deep right here. Think about the ramifications of I don't even, it's too deep. It's too deep.
You gotta say it. You gotta say it.
It's too deep because we're not being woke. I'm gonna even go a step further. Let me hit this one more time.
Well, the word woke has become a very controversial word.
But how can you be woke, or how can you wake up when you're steady smoking something that's putting you to sleep? Because it's different type of marijuana. You got the indica, you got the sativa, right? Mm-hmm. The indica slows you down, the sativa speeds you up, but the hybrid is right in the middle. It's like a mix, right?
Okay.
Most of the marijuana that's being put on the streets, from my information, from my knowledge, is the kind that's making you fall asleep. You know what I'm saying? And now it's different organizations that's putting the fentanyl on the weed because they need to be more addictive.
So is fentanyl the new crack?
Yeah. Crack ain't gone now.
No, it's not. No, of course I know it's not. We're in Miami. Of course it's not gone. But
crack is whack.
But yes, crack is whack. But at the same time, if you are lacing the new marijuana with fentanyl, and they used to lace the weed with the cocaine or the crack,
putting the salt on their greens,
lace it. You know what I'm saying? And so if they're now lacing with fentanyl, wouldn't fentanyl be the new crack?
Here's the thing: how you know it's the fentanyl on the weed when it's coming from the street? When we say the street, we talking about the poor dealers. We talking about the dealers that's just as poor as you, that ain't got the ounce or got the half pound or the pound.
So they ain't putting the Lysol on the grass no more.
You don't know. You smelling the lights. Ooh, that's some killer.
You know,
you smoking it in.
Because I remember back in the 90s, man, I've known some people who done some crazy stuff to try to get some money. You know what I'm saying?
Put the road spray on that Zoom.
You know what I'm saying? From the crack standpoint, I remember they used to put the pine sol and the
pine sol on the road, make it smell like some.
And so I remember that. I remember the weed used to be, they used to put the doggone the 409, or they used to put all kinds of chemical stuff.
Yeah.
On some grass.
And then let's talk about the synthetic weed.
They cut the grass and they put the doggone 409 on it.
They people coming out with catnip and everything, trying to sell you some catnip.
They used to call it whoop back in the day.
They selling you catnip and everything.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But now we have a new level of the game. They got synthetic weed. See, that's when I get to talking about weed here.
What they call it, spice?
They got spice. They got K2. This stuff is making people actually. This stuff is actually hurting people. You know what I'm saying? It's making people go into hallucinogenic states. It's making people wild out.
I know the spice was the thing back in like the 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm gonna get back to the synthetic weed, because they mix this. You gotta think, if it's people that's trying to make, people will do anything to make money, bro. You understand me? When it comes down to it. So if it's pounds of some new weed hitting the market, because it's always gonna be new drugs hitting the market.
Absolutely.
And part of why I wanted to do this podcast tonight is to warn y'all, because we high vibration beings, to warn y'all to think twice before you smoke that street marijuana. You know what I'm saying? Because it's different now, and it's a biological warfare, and they trying to take a lot of people out. I ain't saying no certain people they trying to take out. I'm saying they trying to take a lot of people out.
They trying to take out the poor people.
The poor people, right?
Because you got, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to also look at it from a perspective of the poor. You got the poor whites.
Yeah.
Who does the meth.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, they do a lot of marijuana, too.
Yeah.
You know, you got the poor Mexicans, you got the poor Latinos, you got the poor, and of course, you know, the poor blacks.
Yeah.
But you have, you know, they want to take out the poor people.
Yeah.
The poor population, not just the black people. You know what I'm saying? But you do see more, and I don't want to even say you see more black people smoking marijuana. You probably see more whites smoking marijuana than you do black.
But a lot of time they smoking better grade regulated marijuana. They smoke a dispensary marijuana, because the beginning marijuana places where they start legalizing that stuff, like Denver, you know, these different places, Portland,
Denver, Colorado,
you know what I'm saying,
California,
Washington, you know, they got good healthy marijuana out there, bro. You know what I'm saying? But when you start dealing with the Milwaukee's or the Detroits, or Detroit been kind of regulated for a while now, but
Detroit's it's legalized in Detroit?
Yeah, it's legalized in Detroit. Okay. When you deal with the you know, the Ohio's and the Memphis's and you know what I mean, and
you got more whites in Ohio than you do blacks though.
That's not necessarily. Well, we talking about the pockets though. You know, we talking about the hood.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The hood.
The Columbus. And,
you know, because if you dealing with, you know, Ohio got a lot of farmland too. So
exactly. That's
if you dealing with that, they probably been growing their own weed anyway. You know, they right next to the okra over there. You know what I'm saying? So they ain't really on that. But we talking about, you know, before Chicago really, you know, and even still in Chicago, because everybody can't go just buy no marijuana. You know what I'm saying? From the dispensary, because here's the thing, it's too expensive. This is what we talking about in the poor neighborhoods. It might be $50, $60, $75 in there, but oh boy, might got it around the corner for $10. Which one you gonna be able to do if you got $10 you want to get high?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And there's people out here that literally would spend their last dollar on some weed. That's just how hard the struggle is.
You know what? And
yeah, it's true.
Coming from where I'm from.
Yeah, which part?
You know, I'm from Pensacola, Florida.
Okay, let's talk about
it. You know what I'm saying? And so I know a lot of people who smoke weed in Pensacola.
We talking about the Atlantas. I just want to throw that in there. The ATLs.
Yeah, I know the ATLs, the Picolas, you know what I'm saying? The Charlottes.
Jacksonville's,
you know
Charlottes.
You know what I'm saying? Even in Baltimore.
We can keep going. And then don't even get to talk about Mississippi, Alabama.
Right. So I know a lot of people who smoke weed. Street weed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And some medicinal weed too. You know what I'm saying? But I know more people who smoke street weed than medicinal weed.
$10, $5, you know.
And so
Miami. Yeah, I throw that one in there too.
You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I know that you have a lot of people who's smoking weed, you have a lot of people who's holding down jobs on weed and so forth.
Yeah.
But you also have a lot of people who are popping pills.
Okay.
And the pills is what I believe that somebody will give their last $10 or last $15 to $20 for.
Okay.
Versus a bag of weed.
So let's put this in perspective. All right. So the pills is a rich man's drug.
Not necessarily.
Sure it is, because, and this is just from my own knowledge. I'm a smart guy. I got street smarts and I got book smarts, right?
Okay.
So when you're dealing with pills, you're dealing with all type of different, perks and, bars and all these different type of things. That stuff is expensive. You're talking $30 a pill, $20 a pill. We ain't talking no $5. We ain't talking no $10. You know what I mean? And
but you can cut, but you can chop that pill in half.
That may not be where that's gonna make somebody get to where they try to get to. You know what I'm saying? A half a pill might not be that to somebody. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Then on top of that, you have to find somebody that sell them. The only way, a lot of times, that you're gonna find somebody that sell them is somebody that need them, but they don't really need them. And I ain't trying to do no dry snitching now. I'm just saying how the gang go. You know what I'm saying? Because, or then it's coming from out the country, from fake pharmacies, and that's how people is dying, because they not real pills. They fake pills that look real, but they got the fentanyl, the other, materials in them, that when you pop a hole and you think you good, they find you on your flow. RIP to any family members or any people out there with their family members that they found like that off them fake pills.
Well, you got people who actually, their mothers, their fathers, their relatives, or loved ones who might be elderly, who have
got some pain,
who have been diagnosed with some pain.
That's pills, what I'm saying,
right?
Yeah.
And so they are sneaking their loved ones pills,
right?
Or you have people who are on the street who have stolen their mother, their father, their loved ones pills and so forth, and they're selling them on the street,
right?
And so they're even selling pills now in schools.
That you know
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm saying, as much as I'm in agreement to a degree,
that's
with
fine
with the whole marijuana phase.
Yeah,
you have different other drugs now. Like when we was coming up, you only had crack or weed and alcohol.
Right. Okay. Heroin.
You had heroin, but you didn't hear about too many people
that's
on heroin.
That's what I'm saying. Okay.
At that point.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But now you got heroin, you got weed, you got pills, you got fentanyl, you got all these different other drugs now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On top of weed.
Right.
Right.
But what's the cheapest alternative to relieve your pain? And I'm talking about mental and hurt pain. I ain't talking about the physical pain where you got a card and you go into the dispensary because your knees hurt. We talk about where you ain't got no money to give to your baby mama, or you ain't got no money to take care of your kids, or you ain't got no money to get no food, but you got $5. What you gonna choose? You finna go to McDonald's, or you finna call up the weed man, be like, I need a bag, bro?
I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I have absolutely no idea, because I don't do neither one.
That's what I'm trying to tell you how it's going out here.
So I have to take your word for it, basically.
We talking about the low income areas are the ones that's suffering the most from what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And people out there, I want y'all to leave a comment or something in the chats or something. Just let us know, what do you feel about that? Are we telling the truth, or is this not the truth? You know what I'm saying? Because it's real. You know what I'm saying? I want to pull this up though real quick. Hold on. This is what It's hold on, let me do this. This is what it's all about right there. You see that? That's what it's all about right there. You know, that's really what's going on. People are utilizing this right here. That's some good too right there. That look so good, don't it? That look crazy. What I want to say, Mr. Flowers had to excuse himself real quick, go to the restroom. People, you know, and I just want to give a heart to heart. I didn't see so many people lose their mind over, you know what I mean, smoking the wrong weed, you know, or getting addicted to weed and not being able to bounce back correctly. You know, we have, or they have, let me hit this one time. They have some new weed coming out. You know what I mean? I'm warning you now. I heard it through the grapevine. It's coming out. It's going to wreck a lot of minds because people ain't really smoking no crack like that no more. Y'all young folks is not smoking no crack like that. You know what I mean? So that didn't kind of phased away. It's people still doing powder and other drugs like that. But when you got the music industry pushing weed on you, you got every rapper you see rolling up, then that's what these young people and that's what even middle-aged people, you know, want to use to try to relieve their stress, the stress of poverty. And that's what we running into, poverty. You know what I mean? Because this new thing that's coming in 2023, which is going to be a good thing for some, but it's going to hurt other people because you got people at the top that's already telling you they trying to lift up the unemployment rate. And when they lift up the unemployment rate, that means a lot of people going to lose their jobs at the bottom. When people lose their jobs at the bottom, what's the quickest way and the quickest thing you need to help that pain? It is this right here. You need that for to help your pain, right? This right here is what's keeping you from feeling some type of way. You understand me? But all I'm trying to say is that right there, that money is what's causing people would do anything, Mr. Flowers, for some weed. People would sell their body for weeds. You got people disrespecting themselves on social media and smoking weed while they got their kids in the car. So nowadays the weed is getting into the kids' mind and having them addicted before they even get 5 or 6 years old. I even see the dude letting a kid smoke some weed, a little baby smoke some weed on the social media. Yeah. Let him get high. He's smoking the weed, everything. He blowing.
So that's cool now.
That's what I'm saying. Is it?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Is it cool? Hell no.
That's what I'm saying.
I had to process what you were saying.
Yeah, they had to.
Hell no, it's not cool.
Look, they done rolled up the blunt and let the little dude smoke. I'm talking about he about 5 or 6. He's smoking the weed and they think it's funny. They put it on social media, bro.
But I've seen people who put kids with guns. I've seen people who put kids with alcohol. I've seen people who put kids with drugs on social media.
Yeah.
Thinking it's cool and laughing about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which I think is another drug.
Yeah.
But we already had that discussion already.
Yeah. Well, we always can have it again. I also want to put another warning out there because I was a victim myself at one time, and that is edibles. You know, I was in Cali one time, and in this one, weed became 100% legal in Cali, and I had an edible, man. Actually, a big old candy bar like this, and I ate half of the candy bar, and I ain't really think nothing of it. I was chewing it. I'm like, man, this is weak. So I got it was about like this big, a big old Rice Krispie treat. That's what it was.
Okay.
So I ate it down to about right here. Right.
Oh, you was grubbing.
I want to say it was about 300 milligrams. So I'm like,
so did you know it was an edible?
Yeah, because it was legal. My people gave it to me. It was all good. You know what I'm saying? They didn't try to hurt me or nothing. It was just, you know what I'm saying? So then the package actually had a cow with one eye in the middle of his head like that.
So the third eye.
Yeah, the third eye, bro.
So did it make you smarter?
Hold on, I'm finna share this story with you. The package said you always can eat more, but you can never eat less.
Okay,
so boom. I'm up. Boom. So
well,
now
we give you the munchies anyway.
Okay, yeah, it give you the munchies, all right. So that thing start kicking in, right? The TV start getting blurry. My mind go to the next level, bro. I start seeing things, bro, of the future and of the past, bro, that I did wrong, bro. I'm in a room screaming, bro, like, no, why I do that? No. I'm tripping, bro. I'm wilding out, bro. Now I think I'm dying, bro. I feel my heart slowing down. I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, I'm gonna die like this in this hotel room. Like I fall on the floor. I'm just like, man, I'm thinking about all the things I should have did and everything. And then I just accepted it. And then I was out.
I'm laughing because I'm sitting here thinking about a exercise or punishment that we used to have in the military.
Wow.
Called the dying cockroach.
The dying cock. What is that?
Where you lay on your back and you put your legs and your arms up and you just like, I'm dying. And that's your punishment in front of everybody.
That's crazy.
So what you saying that you say you think you feel like you're dying.
Yeah.
You get on the floor. You know what I'm saying? And your heart and all that stuff is starting to feel like it's stopping. That would make me think about that. But I mean, it's not funny. It's actually.
Oh, it wasn't funny at all because I was.
But
like,
that's what made me think about that.
I was so sad because I was feeling like I did it to myself, and then the next morning I woke up, bro, and I was so thankful
that you was alive.
So I tell you that story to say, please be careful with them edibles because you don't know if they cheat. You don't know if they really from the dispensary. If you buy them on the streets, a lot of what I'm talking about is street drugs.
So this was a candy bar.
It was a Rice Krispie treat, bro.
So the gummies,
yeah.
I think there's so many different ones.
Pills, any of them. THC pills. Just killed somebody the other day. They thought it was a THC pill. It wasn't. It was fentanyl. They was out of there. Fake THC pill.
And then, of course, being in Miami, we already know that they're smuggling fentanyl here.
That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. The new weed is on the way. Y'all hearing it from the bottom right now. I'm not doing no dry snitching or nothing. I'm giving my people warning. Y'all need to be careful now. The street drugs, the new street drugs, they putting it out here meant to hook the young people or the people in the poor areas that don't have no money. They trying to get you hooked now because 2023 finna change some things for y'all.
Well, they're starting younger. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're targeting a younger demographic. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
Of course, they started with the whole vaping situation.
Exactly.
With the sweet, you know what I'm saying, the cherry and all the different flavors of the vape.
Let me share something real quick. And I'm not trying to draw no lines. I'm not trying to say no certain type of thing, but vaping ain't really been a thing of the poor community or the black community. Black community ain't really been the type of people that do no vaping. We ain't really vape, bro. You know what I'm saying? We smoke weed, smoke blunts and stuff like that, but vaping have been more of a white people thing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to draw no lines in the sand, but I'm just saying it's been, when I look around, bro, I see white people vaping, bro, blowing the smoke out.
I see a combination of all. You know what I'm saying?
I must be colorblind. I see
a combination of all, and so vaping is not only the vape pen, but you got a lot of people who's doing the hookahs now.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really know they had the hookah vape.
You know what I'm saying? And so you got people who, of course, they hooked us all, sort of, kind of, at the club with the hookah, right? And then once you got wind of the hookah, then you ran to the store and got the vape pens, and they sell the vape pens everywhere now.
That's what I'm saying, right?
You know what I'm saying? You can go to the gas station and get a vape.
You got a whole thing wall full of vape,
and
right?
So you still got the OGs and the so forth who still smoke the Newports and so forth.
Yeah, still blow the regular smoke back.
But the ladies, you know what I'm saying, and so forth, is smoking the vape pens. They're not smoking the Salems and the Newports and the so forth no more. They're vaping now.
Okay, so let's take that analogy right there, which is a reality of an analogy, and you have the cigarette industry. They didn't phase back the actual cigarette, even though they still sell them on, but who's really buying the pack of cigarettes? It might be older people, it might be some young people, but I don't really see younger people or middle-aged people around
smoking no Newports,
smoking no cigarette.
Well, I know people who's our age who's still smoking Newports because they're addicted to the Newport.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm gonna get to that. But I seen a dude next to me fire up a cigarette the other day, and I was like, I wanted to actually ask him, like, bro, you still smoke? Like, bro, that's
I didn't even know
bro.
You can smoke on Earth no more.
Yeah. Wait, can you say that one again? You said what?
I didn't even know you could still smoke on Earth no more. You know what I'm saying? But but you still got people who smoke. Like when I actually literally smell a cigarette, I look at somebody like they're crazy. Like,
exactly.
Are you still smoking? Because you know what I'm saying? Because after not only is the chemicals, and the different commercials that come on about the chemicals, but now you have had COVID.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, it's just like, dude, are you really still smoking cigarettes?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, we all know how popular vaping is now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so not only are you having vaping, but now you got the hookahs. And then, of course, like you said, you got the different dispensaries for the marijuana now.
Right.
Which is a dirty, what we call them dirty cigarettes back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So now you got the dirty cigarettes, you got all these different genres of nicotine or a fixation of a fix.
Okay, right. So let's put that in the same perspective as the marijuana.
Okay.
So if smoking the street marijuana is a thing of the past now, was old. Like, bro, we going to the dispensaries, right? And the dispensary prices due to demand is going up. So you go to the dispensary, they stuff $70, $80.
But if you got a card,
it's still $70, $80 because it's premium merchandise. It's been tested. It's been inspected.
But your insurance pay for it. Or
No. We talking about just for the average people. We ain't talking about the medical marijuana that the old people get. We talking about the stuff where you can go in the store and get it, right?
Okay.
In certain states, right?
Like on the shy.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You can go in there and get it. But we talking $70, $80. So the people in the poor community, they can't go in there and spend those $70, $80 on those.
They need they fix right now.
They need to spend $10, bro.
They need to still pull the seeds out the joke.
Where you think they getting that weed
from? That joke.
Where you thinking they getting that weed from, bro?
Do people still use rolling papers?
And they better be hidden. It better be something to get them out their mind. So guess what? If I was sitting back at the big world table and I'm thinking like, man, listen, it's going to be a war between dispensary marijuana and street marijuana. I'm finna make this street marijuana hit because I need to get all these people that's watching these videos, I need to get them hooked on that weed.
But is it because you had the chronic in the 90s?
Yeah.
You had the lean in the 2000s.
Yep.
You had the ecstasy in the
2000s.
Pill poppins and so forth in the mid 2000s.
Yep.
And then here we are now in 2022, and because you have addicted all these so many and fentanyl and meth as well.
Right.
So now that I've addicted all of these people, now I got to give you something stronger. So is that the reason why?
Got to give you something stronger, and I got to make it cheaper for you. But I gotta, you still that situation where you got a lot of young people and a lot of middle-aged people that's like, I'm not finna do no fentanyl. I ain't finna pop no pills. I'm not finna do that. All I do is smoke weed. How do we get the average weed smoker addicted?
We legalize it.
When it's legalized, if it costs $60, $70 in the store, how can I get you from going to the store to coming to that person on that street? Because now it's legalized. We're not even going to arrest the dude that's on the street. We're not even finna charge him with nothing. Well, guess what? We need y'all minds, because we need to destroy y'all from becoming conscious, because now y'all starting to wake up. We starting to realize that the stuff y'all searching for on the internet is about energy, magnetism, vibrations. You know what I mean? Y'all rising to a higher self. So what can we do to keep y'all from becoming godlike?
Deep, brother.
You know what I'm saying?
But I also guess I'm just playing devil's advocate because of my ignorance, I guess.
That's all right.
Because again, like I said, I haven't spoken anything since the 90s.
Yeah.
So because of my ignorance, I guess I just have a biased ignorance, I guess.
Yeah, that's okay.
But it could be because of the quote unquote woke people.
Yeah.
And I hate to use the word woke now because it has such a crazy connotation now.
Right.
But because people are waking up,
Yeah.
and researching for themselves,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, I guess you do have to have something to dumb or numb the masses down.
Check this out. I'm gonna share a failure story. I'm gonna call it a failure story. I'm gonna share
A failure story?
Yeah, I'm gonna share a failure story. When I was about 18, I was finna go to the Navy.
I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying?
But you're from that area, so that's the Navy area.
I was finna go to the Navy. And you know, I was good, everything was solid, you know what I'm saying? When it was time for me, no, I took my ass back. Then I took my drug test. The night before my drug test, I smoked. Because at that time I was addicted. I was young, I was addicted. I knew I shouldn't have been smoking. I smoked the night before I took my ass back.
You could have just took some cranberry juice and passed it. But go ahead, I'm listening.
I mean, you know, we talking blunts. You know what I'm saying? Took blunts. And I knew that night, I was like, man, I shouldn't have been smoking. They dropped me the next day. I didn't hear nothing for about 2 weeks. I'm getting ready to, now I didn't went through my ass bath. You know, I didn't got signed up, ready to go. Boom, I leave, wave months, and by I'm out.
Did you actually literally swear in?
I don't think I swore in because I think you swore in after when you get there.
When you at MEPS and you take the ASVAB, did you take the ASVAB
I
at
took
MEPS?
the ASVAB
At MEPS.
At MEPS, yep.
Okay, so if you took the ASVAB at MEPS,
I could have swore in. I took the
MEPS.
physical, everything, bro. I made it to the bus. We was getting ready to leave, bro.
Okay.
The man stopped me like he had a piece of paper. He stopped about 3 of us. Back, yeah, you got to go back with him. Went back up to the office, or you didn't pass the drug test. If you had marijuana in your system. Gave me a bus ticket back to the crib, a street bus ticket, not no Greyhound, and back to the crib. That was one of the saddest times of my life. I blew an opportunity of a lifetime because of weed, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's a lot of people out there tonight or tomorrow, whenever y'all watch this. I know y'all sad because y'all blew one of the best jobs in y'all life because y'all couldn't pass that drug test. Get to your higher self, man. That weed is only getting more and more addictive. If you don't let it go now, it's going to take over your life. You're going to be a bum. Not everybody, but you don't want to be out here like Mr. Stan said. You don't want to be trying to find a piece of this cardboard out here because you ain't got nowhere to stay because you'll choose blunts over your success.
Well, I mean, I you know, coming where I'm from,
which is
the theme of the night, right? I've seen some very unfortunate things that has happened due to weed.
Okay, talk about it. Let's hear some stories.
I can honestly say I know an individual who actually had a stillborn.
Yep.
Based off of weed.
I'm glad you said that. Well, I'm not glad you said it, but we're gonna talk about that.
I've had individuals who have lost jobs.
Yeah.
Due to weed.
Yep.
I know people who've literally have gone down the road of cocaine, crack addictions due to weed.
Because they call weed a gateway drug. It's gonna lead to something else if you can't get it.
And so you started with weed.
Yeah.
You started, and then of course you needed something stronger, so you begin to lace it.
Yeah.
With coke or crack or so forth.
Yeah.
And then you become addicted to the crack that you laced the weed with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I know some stories about some things with weed. You know what I'm saying? Which is one of the reasons why I refuse. Well, I got so high that I just didn't want to touch it.
Right.
But you know, after that, I didn't want to touch it anymore because I started seeing certain things that happen to people who graduate. They call it graduating.
Yeah.
Who graduated into something more permanent or something more dangerous.
Yeah.
Than weed, but they started with weed.
They started with as a gateway drug. How many people you know that smoke weed on a regular basis that used to look nice, but now they look terrible? Now they look like bums. Now they don't even get dressed no more.
Well, you know, people who smoke a lot of weed, their lips start turning black.
They lips start, their eyes turn black, be having bags on them. It's certain individuals. We're not gonna say everybody.
I remember, and I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's okay, brother.
But I remember, you know, being, you know, managers at certain, you know, Fortune 500 companies.
Yeah.
And hiring these people and doing interviews and being in an interview and seeing people who I know was either high or was like heavily, you know, smoking based on their appearance and how their lips was black or you know, whatever the case, or I could even smell you smoked in your car before your interview.
How you gonna get a job like that? Let's talk about the fact that how if you smoke too much weed, you become dumb. Straight up. I personally have smoked weed to the point to where I felt absolutely retarded and stupid. I just felt like I didn't know how to do anything. And I'm like, man, I barely can remember how to, you know what I'm saying, think right.
Well, but then again, I know some folks who have been weed, quote unquote, weed heads.
Yeah.
Who is now extremely successful.
Okay, that's different. That's a whole different. You got to have some discipline, right? Because weed was originally used for ceremonial purposes, right? To be able to open your mind up and see a little bit farther than what you can see right now. That's what weed was initially, used for. Because what people don't know is weed is actually from outer space. It's an outer space plant, you know, from the Marinus. The cannabis major outside one of the I want to say it's the Big Dipper.
So the aliens brought it here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an alien drug. You know what I mean? It's like no other plant on the planet Earth, bro. It don't look like no other plant. It don't grow like no other plant. It cannot give you the feeling that no other plant gives you on the planet Earth, bro. It's from a different world.
Okay. So just like the aliens, this, you know, if you're a biblical person,
yeah,
you know, they say that the women on the earth was so beautiful that the angels from heaven came down and made it with the women.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so historians would say those were aliens that came down.
Okay.
And then of course, if you go to the Egyptian side of the house,
got you.
You know, the Egyptians believe that the aliens came down.
Okay.
Thus and so forth, the TV show created by aliens.
Okay.
That they say the pyramids was created by aliens.
Okay.
Right. And so, and then if you go even further, they would say that the aliens was the ones who came down and taught us warfare.
Okay.
So that's where your fighting and your war, you know, your general warfare comes from.
Yeah.
Which is the aliens.
Yeah.
And as well as the makeup.
Okay.
So now you're saying that aliens came down and brought down cannabis.
It's from the cannabis major.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Or was the cannabis major named after the plant cannabis?
Nah, it's from that world, bro. It's from that it's from that Star Collection. However, I want to, and that's deep, and I might touch back on that, but that might be too much. That might be too much for y'all people. But I want to touch on something else that's very important. So it's a study out there saying 50% of the men in the world is producing less semen or less sperm than over 5 years ago, right? But they say brothers that smoke marijuana is producing 5%, almost 5%, or less than 5. Well, let me see, about 5% of what their potential is. And that's why we're seeing lower sperm rates in black men or men that smoke marijuana, bro. We're facing an epidemic when it comes to marijuana dropping brothers' sperm rate, because that's so important for the future, right? Because if we can't get these women pregnant,
we can't populate, right?
We're not going to be able to populate. And so that's a bigger picture in the big scheme of things too. The higher and the more potent the marijuana is, the more sterile these poor communities will be, and they won't be populating as well.
So I have a question for you.
Okay.
And a statement at the same time.
Let's go.
So if that is the case, then diet should play a factor.
Okay.
The fact that most of us don't really go outside the way that we're supposed to and get that vitamin D the way that we're supposed to.
Yeah.
So you got the vitamin D issue.
Yep.
You got the diet issue.
Right.
And now you're saying, not to mention, let me back up, but not to mention you have the pornographic issue, because you got a lot of men who's just
can't help themselves
using the 5 finger,
especially if you smoke that marijuana.
You know what I'm saying? And so you got diet, vitamin D issue, the pornographic issue, and now you're saying you got the marijuana issue.
So the marijuana, the brother Wesley Muhammad, that brother said and he's a doctor, Dr. Wesley Muhammad, excuse me. That brother said so they're flooding the poor communities with the indica weed.
Indica.
The indica weed is the female strand of the weed. The female strand in the smoke releases estrogen at the most highest level of any plant. So when you take that in, it reduces the testosterone in you and increases the women's side, the estrogen in you. And that's why you see in these black communities and these poor communities all of this killing. And that's because they smoking the female strand and the estrogen, the highly estrogen weed that's making brothers more emotional and delusional and ready to do more things, along with the poor diets, because when they're smoking this, now they're going to get chicken snacks or hot Cheetos and things like that. And it's just a mix of all the wrong things, brother. Church.
Well, I mean, so I'm sitting here and I'm trying to process what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I hear the different, philosophies that you're using, but the main thing that I just took out of everything that you just said, is that the fact that because we're, the guys or the men are smoking this indica, estrogen based, weed, that is one of the root causes behind all of the crime.
Absolutely.
And because of the indica weed, you're saying that they're emotional and so forth. So I mean, I might be wrong.
Come on with it.
But you're saying because men are now becoming more emotional and female orientated, that is the reason why the crime is on a spike.
That's partly what I'm saying. I'm also saying that in the poor communities, the only pain reliever they have is a lot of times the marijuana for people that's not going to go out and get the crack or go out and get the meth.
So that's their coping mechanism.
Exactly. And not only that, when they don't have it, then they got to go get it.
Okay.
Just like somebody that's smoking crack.
Okay. So not only are you smoking the indica weed, which is the estrogen based weed,
correct?
But not only that, but you're also eating the estrogen based food.
Yeah, the soy based food. Yeah, because you're gonna go get some. Obviously, if you don't have enough money for that, then you're gonna get some noodles.
No.
Or you're gonna go get.
No. What I'm saying is, they use estrogen to make the chickens bigger.
Yeah, absolutely.
They use estrogen to make the fruits and vegetables
you're gonna
bigger.
Eat the estrogen based
and so
food.
You're eating the estrogen that they're feeding to the vegetables, the fruits, the chickens, all the stuff to make it bigger.
Absolutely.
Not only are you eating estrogen or ingesting estrogen from that perspective,
correct,
but you're also ingesting the indica-based weed, which is the estrogen-based weed.
Yes.
So you're just getting estrogen from everywhere.
Yeah, and then you're not working out or lifting any weights to increase the testosterone, which is stored in the chest muscles and in the thighs. So then we have a situation to where what is left, and then on top of that, you're drinking Not you, but I'm saying like people was drinking the poor liquor, the Hennessy, which is not really poor liquor, but they changed the Hennessy. They started putting steroids in the Hennessy. That's why people start.
Well, I don't drink Hennessy.
Yeah, me neither. But I'm saying not no more. But when I did, we can throw them. Like after a half a bottle, it's time to knuckle up.
Oh yeah, you knuckle your buck. All right, so I've never been an angry person when I drink, but I understand what you're saying.
Well, if I pour you, if we get a big bottle of that Hennessy, then we might be sitting here arguing for no reason.
I'm kind of chill, laid back.
Okay, I got you.
But I
you ain't been drinking Hennessy in a long time though.
In a very long time.
Right. So the Hennessy didn't change. They changed everything to keep the money going, bro.
So why is my brother Nas still advertising Hennessy?
Because he sold out, bro. Nas sold out to sell the Hennessy. Pacquiao sold out. Whoever got the biggest check, bro. If Hennessy came right now to you and said we got a million, Mr. Flowers.
Nah, bro. I mean, you know, I'm not a Hennessy drinker.
But all you got to do is pour it on some ice and.
Nah, because I don't like the connotation that it leaves. But
you not finna get the $1 million check to drink the Hennessy on camera, bro.
All money ain't good money.
You a good brother, man. We need to give Mr. Miles a round of applause.
It ain't about that, man. But all money ain't good.
That brother said he ain't gonna take the. I would really have to consider. I would have to think about that, bro. I would really have to think about that.
All money,
I would have to sleep on that one.
That's just like.
The $1 million, bro.
That's just like you or I.
Yeah.
Advertising Cisco.
The drink.
The liquid crack.
Ooh. Now how is Cisco liquid crack, bro?
Well, I mean that's kind of like a known fact, man. You know what I'm saying? That was liquid crack back in the day. They don't sell it too much no more.
We almost killed ourselves off that Cisco.
I haven't seen a bottle of Cisco in a long time.
We almost killed ourselves off some Cisco.
Not only that, but what is this? Slit malt liquor.
Ooh.
The Bull.
The
they had the Blue Bull and the Red Bull before the actual energy drink Red Bull.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of people did some whole lot of harmful stuff off that Blue and Red Bull.
Oh, man. It's even worse now. They got stuff worse than that.
Yeah, they got that 911, 211, 911, whatever.
211, 911. They got stuff worse than that.
Roco and Roco Loco and all that. Yeah, the
Loco, Four Locos. Yeah, man, that stuff is so terrible for the community. That's what I'm saying. They get the Four Locos and they put in. You can't go in no nice community and get no Four Locos, bro.
I've had one or two. I can't sit here and say I've had a whole lot of them, but I mean I've had one or two in my lifetime.
We'll give you a 4-pack. You talking about you a nice guy?
No,
we're gonna give you a 4-pack of that Four Locos.
First of all, I'm not finna drink no 4-pack. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna.
We gonna set $1 million right here and give you a 4-pack of that Four Locos. What you gonna do?
I'm not finna drink no Four Locos. I'll take the $1 million.
No, you got to drink the Four Locos
to get the $1 million. Oh no, I might drink the Four Locos. Cause I ain't got to advertise.
Right,
I ain't advertising. I just got to drink them.
Well, they gonna see you with the can up to you about Four Locos. Who's coming up with this stuff?
But
that's the question I want to ask you. Who's coming up with this, bro? Four Locos, 211. Why they coming up with this, bro?
Well, you know, we all know that advertisement and malt liquor as a whole has been targeted towards the black community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so because those things are targeting us, we already know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And what's the purpose? The real question should be, what's the purpose of the Four Locos?
What's the purpose of the Four Locos?
And the St. Ides.
What's
and
the purpose
8 Ball?
What's the
and all that kind of stuff? All of that stuff was to get us in a numb state of mind.
Right.
And want to, because I don't know too many people who drink those drinks and don't get belligerent.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And so the purpose of those was to get you riled up.
Yeah.
Get you at the club, at the party,
right,
at the cookout, or whatever the case is, and get you riled up,
right,
and start some foolishness.
And it's so bad for your health. They put stuff in it that they know is killing you.
And so, because if you really want to get, serious about things,
let's go.
The 8 Ball, the St. Ides, all of that, you know what I'm saying? The Cisco's, all that stuff didn't really hit the market until gangster rap hit.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying right there. And gangster rap is still, well, drug dealer music.
Absolutely.
Is at an all-time high right now.
Well, drug user music.
Drug user music
right.
is at an all-time high right now. And the main thing they pushing right now is that weed. Every time you look at an interview, somebody smoking some weed. You know what I'm saying? You got your favorite rapper out there. He rolling up, smoking. And it look good too when they smoking that weed. But the person that's on their phone that only got $5 to their name, and now you didn't influence them to want to go smoke. Where they finna go get their weed from?
So basically, what you're saying is Snoop Dogg is like the end all be all. He's like the very detrimental to the black culture. Is what you're saying.
Snoop Dogg has been kind of bad for the culture, bro.
Kind of bad.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg has been kind of bad.
How do you define kind of bad?
Because he kind of positive on the way, but he kind of negative. All this he done made smoking look cool, but yet he has profited off of smoking for all these years.
But the same thing with George Clinton though.
But we don't know about no George Clinton. Who ain't no young people looking at no George Clinton.
But that's what
when they was smoking weed back then, they was smoking regular weed.
But that's what Snoop got it from. Snoop got it from the Willie Nelsons and the George Clintons.
George Clinton and them, they was smoking regular weed, bro. Just plain old weed. Just regular old weed. Snoop pipe smoke this hybrid weed, this high level weed. But the stuff that's being sold on the corners of these inner cities.
And what's that cat name that was married to or had the baby by
Khalifa?
Yeah, Wiz Khalifa.
They making it look good, but the person that got $5-10 to their name, that don't got no job, that's trying to find a job, that's like, I need to get high because I can't even buy no food for the family. I ain't got no presents. There's so many people that just did bad things this holiday season because they couldn't buy no food for the crib on Thanksgiving.
Well, this is the time of year that is the most detrimental from a mental and psychological standpoint.
Yeah.
This is the most depressing time of the year.
Right.
And more people commit suicide.
Oh, talk about
between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
That's crazy, bro.
Than crazy. Any other time of the year.
And this is when this is an election year. This is when they drop off them. This is when they change the dynamics. Because people is becoming more conscious. They raising their vibrations. Now you're starting to see little tidbits of internet things where people are talking about vibrational things and raising their higher self up. And they can't have that, bro. They got to keep the negativity, you know what I mean, going.
Right. So literally this is the time of the year where you're going to see a lot of puffing.
Yeah. This when the new drugs get introduced, bro, in the fall, in the holiday season. This when the new drugs hit the market, bro.
Because this is the most depressing part of the year.
So now people like, what you got, bro?
Because people can't be home with their families. Yeah. Because some people don't have their families anymore.
Man, you get think about loved ones that have passed away,
their moms or their dads or whoever. You know what I'm saying? So this is literally the time of year where and they should teach us this when we was overseas or whatever the case is. But this is literally the most depressing, the most suicidal time of year.
Man, so if I call your phone like I got $5 or some new stuff, and it's only $5.
Oh, they trust me, they got some Black Friday deals on some weed.
You know what I'm saying? I got some new stuff. It's only $5.
And I made a comment the other day.
Yeah.
Why don't they speaking of Black Friday?
Okay.
Why don't they put discounts on rent? Or why don't they put discounts on the electricity bill or car notes or whatever the case is? You know what I'm saying? Why don't things that really matter?
That's going up, yeah, because they want to keep. Now I truly understand about the poor getting poorer and the rich getting richer, bro. I understand it now.
There's a reason why there's a 1% in everybody else.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
So now if you want to get richer in next year, you got to focus on what the poor people buy. That's deep, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to market to. You your marketing has to be targeted towards the masses.
Yeah.
You can't target a demographic. You got to target the masses.
Yeah.
And primarily because we, the black community or the black culture, makes up the majority of the buying power.
Oh man, we ain't gonna even talk about that right now.
You know what I'm saying? We purchase the most.
We ain't gonna get on that right now.
So if you target, that's why I told you in an earlier segment or earlier show, if you have someone who's targeting the black community, I don't want it.
Okay.
I don't want it.
Yeah.
And it's simply because if you're targeting us, that means it's no good. It's trash.
So you saying that new Ciroc ain't no good?
It's trash.
Because I've been seeing him get every celebrity, and he want to get us on that Ciroc yak.
Well, I mean, of course we gonna, and
we gonna try it though.
And he don't even own the company.
He don't even own it, but he want to get us on that Ciroc.
He gets some money, but he don't own that.
Did he want to get us on that Ciroc, but he don't even own it?
He don't own it. You know what I'm saying? He gets some of the he has some of the rights of it.
So should we look up to Diddy? Like I want Diddy to come on the show and really give us his view. Cause we entrepreneurs and we trying to. I want Diddy. Should we look up to Diddy?
And since Kanye has fallen off,
man,
they pushed Diddy up to $1 billion.
Man, come on, man. They playing games with our mind.
But
brother.
That's a whole nother situation. But all I'm saying is, just like they've just come out that Jay-Z doesn't own as much as he say he owns of Ace of Spades.
Oh no, he sold half of it to Moet. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And
well, $1 billion.
Well, you remember he came out and said that he wanted them to open the books to show him, and then they came out and followed him and said, "You don't own as much as you say you own."
I thought he owned 100%.
No, he never owned 100%.
Okay,
so that was that.
All right.
Diddy doesn't own Ciroc.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He might. I'm not gonna say he don't own it. He might own like a couple percentage of it.
Okay. We don't know the facts. We don't know the facts.
No, I don't know.
This is our opinion.
No. This is a fact. I don't know the.
This is a fact.
This is a fact. He does not own.
Hold on. Let me get you on. Go ahead.
Diddy does not own Ciroc. He might own like 1 or 2% of it, but he does not own the majority of. He doesn't have a majority share of Ciroc.
Okay, well, Diddy, feel free to check us and get us right on your percentage.
I mean, Google don't lie.
Man, Google, whoever put it in Google lies. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Who put it in Google?
But they're using these African American.
Yeah, they're using us.
People.
Okay.
Subject matters.
Yeah.
To put it, to project it to the masses, because we are the only culture.
Okay, talk it.
We're the only culture who idolizes their celebrities the way that they do.
You said we're the only culture.
The black culture is the only culture who idolize and worships, quote unquote, the celebrities the way that we do.
Wow, that's really sad.
You know what I'm saying?
That's sad.
Like we're the only ones that follow our celebrities the way that we do.
Okay.
Others, you know what I'm saying, they appreciate them.
Yeah,
but they don't worship or follow them.
And we put the worst
we
ones
put them on up on the pedestal.
The worst ones.
Well, yeah.
The worst ones. We look at them like, but brothers out here doing good, we'll get our day to rise up as well.
Because they made it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And
then we worship them because they made it, and then once they go through something, then we leave them alone.
That's crazy.
Because he ain't on my level.
Right.
Or she ain't on my level. You know what I'm saying? And so they sold us out a long time ago. But we worship them while they on TV, while they making our music, while they're entertaining us. But as soon as they start going through something, we turn our back on.
We're gonna get into that, brother. Weed heads is the new crack is.
Well, now that you have broken it down to the extent that you have broken it down to, I can literally say that I still don't 1,000% agree.
I got you.
but you're bringing me closer to the fence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I still think that you have fentanyl, you got the pills, and so forth. That is the new crack.
Yeah.
Because I can't even, I mean, I'm not in the streets so I can't tell you the last time I seen a crack dealer.
Right.
Or somebody cooking up some work.
Yeah. Yeah, they're around you all the time. They're around you.
But at the same time, with the fentanyl that's being smuggled in, with the cocaine that's being smuggled in,
right?
And with weed being legalized, in the certain states that is legalized in, and the medicinal weed that's being legalized, I don't know.
Okay.
That's all. I can't say yes or no.
I got you. Well, I'm gonna say this on the cap off. You know, you made a good point with the fentanyl. You know, with the meth and everything that's being brought in to the country across the borders, and they know what that is. Then with the weed being legal and it's weed every now, why they wouldn't push the weed in there too? They push the weed in there, you don't pay the weed no attention. But yet they take the weed, like they done in other situations, confiscate that weed or bring that weed in and give it to a dealer and do some other things with it. And since it's legal now they can distribute it in a whole nother type of way. What I'm saying is, folks, we ain't accusing nobody of being no crackhead or nothing like that, you know, that enjoy their weed and do, you know, smoke. But you want to be careful with these new street drugs that's coming out, because a lot of the fentanyl is coming from, and I'm not even gonna say no countries, because I don't even want to get into that. A lot of the fentanyl is coming from other countries, and they going to war with the United States, but it's turned into a biological warfare, and they can really destroy your mind with the stuff they making. They have nanobots, little tiny robots that you can't even see with your eyes, that can be all in the weed. And once you smoke it, get all in your lungs, and you trying to figure out why you can't breathe. That's because it's eating your body from the inside out. I know that sounds scary, but I'm just giving you a warning. You know what I'm saying?
Let me give do you remember the movie G.I. Joe?
Yeah.
And how they made Cobra Commander?
Yeah.
And how the nanobots is who actually made the Cobra Commander?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. And so how they literally programmed the nanobots to do what it needed to do, and how in the movie they could recreate and so forth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I want people to take away from this.
Okay.
Is the fact that nanobots is controllable.
Yeah, they're controllable. Yeah. Through 5G.
And so if nanobots is controllable, and you say, I don't know, but you say that they're putting the nanobots into the new marijuana.
Potentially.
And the new street drugs.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah, potentially.
Then they literally are controlling what you put into, and who's to say they're not putting it in the foods either?
Of course they are.
You know what I'm saying? But if that's what they're putting into new drugs, then they're really controlling what you put in your substance. And once you put it in your substance, then they're really controlling you.
Yeah. You 100% right. And the lung, what I want to tell y'all see how this COVID thing going. The lungs is the most valuable part of your body. You know, they expect one of the biggest, and this is a study. They said one of the biggest, and what they're expecting, one of the biggest cancers to be lung cancers in the African American communities.
Well,
lung cancer in the future. Lung cancer is going to be one of the biggest cancers.
I want to say something, but you said I could.
We're going to come back. We're going to come back to it. We're going to touch it. We're going to touch on it next week.
I want to say something, but the last time I said you said they're going to shut our show down, so I can't say what I want to say.
We're going to come back to it. But all we want to say is, you know, we don't want nobody to be out there labeled as no crackhead or nothing like that. But it's, you know, get to your higher self. Marijuana is used for ceremonial purposes. You know what I mean? Understand that if you stand high all day, then you can't get nothing accomplished. You know what I mean? If you get to the point to where you need weed, then you got an issue. And that's going to turn into a bigger issue.
So if you are using it for medicinal purposes, cataracts, PTSD, you know, cancers, various cancers, and so forth. With this discussion isn't for you.
Right.
right? This discussion is simply for those that are using it from a street perspective.
Yeah.
And from a recreational perspective.
Right.
Not from a medicinal perspective.
Yeah.
So let's just throw that
that disclaimer, disclosure. We're gonna hit this and raise the frequency up. Yeah, all the way get them hertz up. We on that 2023, 2022. We on that. Hey, we want to thank y'all for tuning in again. And guess what? The show is going up. Y'all see the views going up, up, up. Share it, like it, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? We need y'all to come on with us because we're growing a community of like-minded individuals right now. Sharp, bright, intelligent individual. We want y'all to be a part of this. We're going to give y'all a little bit of what y'all want. Y'all want some women? We're going to bring some women on the show next week.
So let me give you a Shantastic moment, right? Yep. So the Shantastic moment for the week is, of course, we are taking or partaking in Art Basel here in Miami now, right? And so from an art perspective, my question for you, the culture, is what are we doing to solidify the arts?
Wow.
We went through the Harlem Renaissance. We went through various blues, rhythm and blues, rock and roll, country music. We went through all these different arts.
Right.
Where's the trumpets, the horns, the so forth? Where is the spoken word and so forth? Where is the tap dancing or the arts as a whole, as a culture?
Yeah,
those are things are completely being lost these days and age. Right? We talked about previously that we don't have an anthem now. Right. So who is the next Quincy Jones?
Wow.
Who is the next Michael Jackson? And Chris Brown, God, love him, you know what I'm saying, the whole 9 yards. He's great. He's no Michael.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
He smoked that weed. Anyway.
You know what I'm saying? So who's the next?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Who's the next Oprah Winfrey? Who's the next Dick Gregory? Who's the next MLK, Martin Luther, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King? Who's the next Stokely Carmichael? Who's the next? Right? So in the facets of Art Basel, who's the next? What's your boy who painted this right here?
Basquiat.
Who's the next Basquiat? Right? Okay. So, I just want to put that in your program. I just want to program that in your mind. I just want to ask that question to give it food for thought. But in the spirit of Art Basel, we as a culture need to get back to our origin.
Ooh. And on that, so let me raise the vibration up on that. That man spoke something. I ain't got nothing else to say. We'll see y'all next week. Mr. Flowers went off on.